Hey my beauties, I'm welcoming you to I Am Love. How are you? Today I really want to share with you a very simple step towards coming into your center through the headstand. Headstand is considered to be one of the most powerful asana in terms of energetics, what it does in your system, how powerfully it resets your pranic flow. The second one, which compares a little bit to headstand, it's the shoulder stand. So when you hold the shoulder stand, you feel like the rush of sensation flooding into the back of your heart. So when you start practicing headstand, and maybe for some of you it feels like, oh my God, this is too much, I'm not there, I'm not an acrobat, I cannot do it. Does it mean I'm not a yogi? No, it doesn't. It really has nothing to do with the fact if you're a yogi or not, if you're able to do headstand or not. You can be able to make a perfect asanas and you can still be not a yogi. And you can probably never practice asanas or have no idea how to headstand and you can be a supreme yogi. I already said that before and I really want to reiterate that as I feel it's very, very important. When I was starting to become a yoga teacher, I could not do a yoga stand. And headstand. And I was so ashamed and I was feeling so guilty. And I was thinking like, I can never be a real yoga teacher if I cannot do a headstand. But guess what? Through my experience, I realized that actually it is not about a perfect asana. It's about being authentic, loving and accepting with yourself throughout the way. So I just really want to start with that and reiterate that message that if you're feeling like, oh wow, this is way too much for me, I don't think I can ever do that. First of all, look at me. That's exactly what I used to think when I started my journey. I was looking around in yoga studios and was like, what the hell? How are they doing that? Actually, believe it or not, I was one of the most unflexible people on earth. And I still don't believe I'm very flexible. But I'm definitely much better than before. Alright, so let's break it down. Let's make it super fun, first of all. I really want to break it down, this whole concept of headstand, Sanskrit word Shirshasana, into a very simple step. And I promise you, every time you master one step, you will never fall back and forget it and have to start again. So think about it. Every time you master one step, you will never have to go back and start again. So let's begin. So first of all, for those of you who practicing against the wall, that used to be me and I used to be quite successful. And then when I started learning classic Hatha yoga, my teachers took me away from the wall and put me in the middle of the room and say, if you can do it in the middle of the room, then you can do it. The wall doesn't count. In life, very often we don't have a wall to lean on. So if you really want to master something, you need to master it truly within yourself. I really hated to hearing that at that time because I was doing so great with my wall. It means I had to start from the very beginning, which was really painful for my ego. But guess what? When I managed to do step by step and I really master it within, like I can always do it now. So the first thing I do in preparation for the headstand, I take my jewelry, especially my rings and my bracelets. So this this is for me the preparation. One of the really great way to prepare for the headstands is the dolphin. Why? Why? Because it helps us to strengthen our core and strengthen our biceps, our upper arm, which will be holding us, holding the weight of the body. So we always begin through sitting on our heels. This position calls hero's pose. First step, I invite you to visualize that you are performing a headstand in a very relaxed, centered, strengthened way. I want you to visualize and actually feel it in your body, that you are capable to hold yourself, that you are in constant communication with your body and you trust its messages. So if it tells you, no, this is not good for me, you don't push, you don't pull. So every step you check in, does that feel okay? Can I go further? If it's a yes, then you go further. If it's a no, that's going to be your practice for today. So for me, this is a very big preparation part. In terms of physicality, what's the best way to prepare? Of course, practice generally yoga, all different sorts of asanas, but in particular, the one which strengthening your core and strengthening your arm. Leg raisers, when you're laying down on your back and raise one leg at a time, is very good for strengthening your core. And then you raise your both legs up and down. This is super great. And of course, a dolphin. So how do we practice dolphin? We hug our elbows, same way like in a headstand. We open up our palms and we join our fingers in a tripod. Look at my toes, tucking your toes under, bringing your hips up. For me that feels too tight, too squashed. So I'm going to do a little step back. And then exhale forward, inhale back. Exhale forward, inhale back. See if maybe you can even drop your chin on the mat. Exhale. Whenever you feel complete here, you can always rest in child. Always allow yourself at least 20 seconds of rest. So this was a great preparation for the headstand. If headstand really feels out of reach to you, I invite you to practice this dolphin as many times as possible. Try to introduce it, make it your morning practice. It's also super good for glutes. Alright, so let's break it down, headstand, into simple steps. Step number one, after sitting in a hero pose and visualizing yourself straight, strong, connected, centered. Step number one, hugging your elbows and bringing your elbows in front of you. There is only one fundamental rule in headstand, and it's after you place your elbows on the mat, you do not move them anymore. They are glued, cemented. So you see, I can move my hands, but I do not move my elbows. Then you create a tripod with your hands. This is the space where your crown would be landing. Your crown is at the very top of your head. So then you bring your crown into your palms. Tucking your toes, coming into down, facing down. And that could be your next step. Maybe that's where you're going to be hanging out for the next few weeks. And then you start walking towards your head. Then kicking your legs up. And I recommend you to hang out here for as long as you can. It's very easy to, after, open up, but the most of the strength is actually here. If you are able to practice headstand, you can also practice variation. To go down, always fold your knees first. And rest in child pose 30 seconds. It is a very powerful rush of sensation flooding into the back of my heart, into the back of my neck. And it's very beautiful. It feels nourishing. It feels empowering. It feels like something unblocking the back of my heart. Thank you for watching. Please practice safely. If you have never done headstand, I don't recommend you do it on your own. I recommend you practicing the steps, but not actually kicking the legs to go up. You can only kick the legs up whenever you have a support next to you. Whoever it is who can hold your legs, stopping them to go either way. And then at that stage, your brain will remember and your body will remember how is it to be upside down. So it will have a reference point, and then it can recreate itself through the practice, through strengthening your core, through strengthening your arms, and through believing, through your mind, through strengthening your vision. Thank you, yogis. Lots of love.